We do not rise to the level of our expectations. We fall to the level of our training. This was a quote from an old dude back in Greece, an ancient Greek poet named Archilochus. To be quite honest with you, I did not know the author's name of that quote until I started making this video. I did hear it once from Tim Ferriss, and I've actually heard it quite a bit. It's a very known quote. And it also reminds me of a quote that I remember seeing in Batman Begins that goes something along the lines of, it's not who we are on the inside, but what we do that defines us. You could say that, like, I think it was it Aristotle? I might be butchering the quote, but forgive me. And if it's not Aristotle, please comment in the comments below to let me know what it is. But it goes something along the lines of, show me the actions of the man and I'll show you his character. Why I'm bringing all this up is that, sometimes we're so motivated to get to something, but sometimes it's harder to attain our goals and to do the actions to get to our goals when we were once so motivated. So if you're struggling, if you feel stuck in where you're at as far as your fitness journey or in any other area of your life, stay tuned and watch this video to the end, and hopefully this is something that can help you. Hey, welcome back. My name is Evan. This is my channel where I talk about health, fitness, and other fun stuff. Let's go ahead and dive on into it. With those two quotes I had from, Archilochus and Mr. Bruce Wayne himself, where I find the overlap in both of those, the crossover in between those, is that the ideal person of who we want to be, the ideal body that we want to have, the ideal person that we want to be with, where we want to work, where we want to live, what we want to drive, all these things, that ideal of who we want to be, the best version of ourselves. It comes down to looking at the person that we want to become, figuring out what do they do? What are their habits? What are their actions? And adapt and adopt those habits and then do them daily. And then eventually, the person that you want to become, you will become, because you're doing exactly what they would be doing on a daily basis. Why is this all relevant? Evan, why are you getting all so philosophical and deep? But why is this important? We get started this fitness journey. We want to have a healthier, happier life, and we are desperate to change our lives for the better. But sometimes life gets in the way and then we get stuck. Or we're very motivated in the beginning, but after the novelty wears off and you're just in the grind, it's no longer fun and you don't see the results right away. With that being said, first and foremost is that this video is more about reflection and being self-aware. Well, am I doing everything I can? Am I actually doing this task consistently? Is this habit something that is actually sustainable, something that I can actually do? When we fall off, we need to have a full range of motion, the full picture of why that is. Say that you are going to do this task for a week and saying I'm gonna track my food. Let's just take that for example, or just measure out my food. You could use your hand-sized portion guide, or you could use an app like MyFitnessPal. Use a food scale to actually weigh out and track your food. Now, being honest with yourself, are you actually doing that on a day, or are you using a form of measurement? Are you doing that consistently on a day-to-day basis? Or do you kind of go into the cycle where you ate too much over the weekend, so you're gonna really cut your calories, or you're gonna barely eat during the week, and you're oh, I'm good. I've been eating vegetables, but I'm just not eating a lot and everything. And then it turns out you're severely under eating. And by the time that the weekend comes around, your body is in a starvation mode. You don't think about it, you just eat. You just go ahead and you overeat. And so this whole entire concept of being in a calorie deficit to lose weight, you end up spilling over from the weekend. So you were so undernourished during the week that your body's trying to compensate for that undernourished. And what ends up happening is that you don't know when to stop, or you don't really notice it. You just notice that, hey, this food is great and it tastes delicious and I'm hungry, and you don't realize how many calories are adding up, and then that spills over so that you're in a hard deficit that you were in during the week. You end up spilling over, and then it turns out just to be a maintenance for your weekly caloric intake. So you're going from a starvation mode to a binge mode. You're just going into this cycle where you're just going in circles and circles, and you're not losing the weight that you want because you fall off during the weekend. Now, am I saying cut out the alcohol, cut out the quote-unquote cheat meals? No. What I'm saying is just being more self-aware of your body, actually tracking and being consistent with tracking. What is that going to do? Well, one, you're going to be able to see more so what you're putting into your body, and you're going to be a little bit more self-aware, and you may not be as hungry on the weekends if you start actually eating a sufficient amount of calories during the week, so that the hunger pains and the cravings that you get during the weekends, they will be significantly reduced. You're not going to be nearly as hungry. Ghrelин's not going to be punching you in the face, as Greg Doucette would say. So we want to be more consistent with our deficit not going too drastically low so that like by the time the weekend comes around, not starving and then we're not overeating or over consuming the calories that can have us spill over for our weekly intake. One book I would actually like to bring up that actually really helps out with this is a book by James Clear called Atomic Habits. And in this, he talks about the 4 laws of creating a new habit. And in those 4 laws, it goes over 1, it's obvious, 2, it's attractive, 3, it's easy, and 4, it's satisfying. Now, when you go ahead and you do these things, I'm again just using like fitness as an example, going to the gym. If you're not consistent with going to the gym, is it 1, obvious? Is it 2, attractive? 3, easy? 4, satisfying? If you answer no to 1 or more of those things, try to look deeper into that and see how you can make it simpler and how you can make it a little bit more of that. Having maybe an accountability partner, hiring a trainer, somebody that will say, hey, like, are you getting your steps in? Are you getting the workouts done? Or hey, are you going to be in here tomorrow for our 7 a.m. workout? Or maybe you just need to have an accountability partner or a gym partner saying like, hey, time to go to the gym, or just having a setting reminders to yourself in your phone saying time to go to the gym, of scheduling a time for yourself to go. Maybe that can help. 2, is it attractive? And if the answer is no, if you don't like going to the gym, do something fun within the gym. Find something fun that you like in the gym, or go and figure out maybe what you do like and what you don't like in the gym. Focus more so on what you do like to make it more attractive. 3, is it easy? Now, finding a place that is going to be close to you and that's going to be easy to get to is obvious. If a gym setting is too hard for you, maybe doing some home workouts, something that you can do just on your floor, in your bedroom, in the living room, whatever works better for you. But making sure that it's a very accessible thing for you to do. Now, it's like if you don't have the money for the gym, or if the gym is way too far away, finding a place maybe in your just starting out with just doing body weight home workout stuff in order to just get started. The last one is it satisfying? Granted, when you work out, you release endorphins, so that feel good feeling, that in itself should be satisfying. But again, if you're not used to working out and you don't like working out, and maybe pairing working out with something that you already like doing. Once you get done with the gym, then go ahead and do something that you really do enjoy doing. Whatever it is that you like that's a little bit to be productive or within reason, pair it with those two, so that like when you get into the habit of going to the gym and knowing that like, oh, like, well, if I go to the gym, then I get to do this after. Having these small habits in place, you may lose your sight, and you may lose sight of your goal because you're stuck in the minutia of the day-to-day task. Sometimes these tasks and these habits seem so small that they don't make big difference in the grand scheme of things. Why did you start? Why did you want a happier, healthier life? What in your life made you want to change where you are currently right now? What is that? What's that intrinsic motivator for you? Because ultimately, external motivators, they do work for the short term, but for the long term, it's very easy for us to get off track. You need to figure out that strong why, because when it does get tough, when the novelty wears off and you're just in the grind and you are doing the task day to day, and it might seem like, what's this for? And like, why doing this, just this small task? How is that going to fit in the grand scheme of things? Thinking with the end in mind and thinking where you want to be and who you want to be. Another thing too is like with these habits, and like, why is it hard to start new habits that seem so simple but can be very difficult to actually implement? The habits that you have in place for yourself right now are occupying those. And for what it's worth, they served a purpose for you for some reason, some form. It worked for you. It benefited you for the time that it was created. But now these habits are more hurting you than helping you when it comes to getting to the new goals that you want for yourself. So extincting these behaviors or these habits is that we want to replace an old habit with a new one. And in Atomic Habits, is it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying? But also extincting or replacing the bad habits, or quote unquote bad habits, the old habits that we do not desire anymore, is the inverse of those laws that I just stated earlier. Instead of it being obvious, make it scarce, make it out of sight, out of mind. Make it attractive. The inverse is making it unattractive. Make it easy. Well, the inverse, make it hard. Making sure that you're putting an extra step, putting an extra barrier so that it does make it just that much more difficult to where you're like, I don't want to do that today. The last thing is making it satisfying, making it unsatisfying. And with that being said, like I said earlier, you want to make sure that you are just remembering why you started this in the first place. Knowing your why and being clear on what you want to do and what you want to accomplish is going to make those small, tiny habits make a lot more sense on the day-to-day schedule. But anyways, guys, this is a long one. I know, I'm sorry, but hey, I had a lot to say, and I hope that this helped. This is my channel, and thank you for watching. And by the way, again, if you are new, please like and subscribe to get more info. Follow me on Instagram at PrimeFit Coaching. And if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out either in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm gonna go work out. Peace.